As part of barbecuing chicken 101, one of the first things you need to learn how to do is to cut up your chicken. When you go to the market, you'll see that you can buy the whole pieces or you can buy them all cut up. And when you buy a whole chicken, it costs you a lot less money. We're here at Jimm Meats and Produce in Fullerton, California. This is Patrick. Patrick, show us how to cut up that chicken.
I will do that. I'll show you guys how to cut an 8 and a 9-piece cut. If you guys have families or you guys are watching your budget, it'll definitely save you money in the long run. Okay, so initially we're gonna start with the 8-piece cut. This will be your standard cut that you're gonna wanna get from, anything from a small family to a normal size family. First thing you wanna look for obviously is your chicken has a nice yellowish color to it. That means it's usually not too slimy or sticky. Make sure it has no odors or anything, pretty common sense-ish there. So first things off, you want to turn the chicken over so that you have it on its breast side down, having the back exposed. And what I usually do is I usually start with the wings. So I make a small incision and kind of find where the joint's at. So you find where the joint is between your back rib there and then between your wing, and you could easily go right through. So there's one, and do the same thing to the other side. Make a small incision, find where your joint is, and you can cut right around. Trying not to cut into the breast. And there's your 2 wings. Okay, so next you're gonna turn it back over. And you're gonna find where your leg is connected to your breast there. And then I make another small incision, not to go all the way through. Make a small incision which will expose a lot of the thigh meat in between the breastbone there. And what I do is I'll pull it back until you hear a little pop. And that's when you know you're gonna have that nice bone exposed there. And then slice as you're going right in between, once again, looking for those 2 joints. That's your easiest part right there. Go in between those 2 joints, make that incision, and that will give you the leg and thigh together. Okay, once you have your leg and thigh there, you're gonna feel for, once again, another joint that goes in between where your leg and your thigh is. You can kind of feel with your thumb in between where the 2 bones connect. Right in between there is where you wanna make your incision. So cut right in between there, and now you've separated your leg from your thigh. And we'll do the same to the other side. Small incision, pull back till you hear that nice pop, and you can physically see where the joint will separate. Splitting it once again, and with your leg and thigh, we'll do the same thing. Find where that nice joint is. That's the key, and it shouldn't take much effort to go through. I'm using minimal force whatsoever. So now you have 2 legs, 2 thighs, and 2 wings. You're gonna have your breast and your backbone together. I usually like to stand it up so that you have the tail end of the bird going up. This is the only tricky part. You want to make sure that you make the slice going all the way down with the rib bones, because that's going to be your most delicate place to cut. You're going to make an incision all the way down, running with the backbone there. And that should be just the way it is as such. And then do the same on the other side, trying to stay away from the breast meat, obviously. You don't want to cut into that. Nice incision all the way down. And then when you come down to it, you can just simply twist back and then cut the rest of the little piece off as such. And there's your back. In case you want to make a soup or stock, you could always hang on to that, boil it up. That always goes a long way. So you'll have your backbone there, and then it leaves you with a full breast as well. Trim off any remaining fat, whichever you guys don't think you'll need. And then make a small incision in the middle of the breast. And then pull together gently, and that will expose the breastbone, which you can easily put with your fingers in and kind of give it a tug on, and it comes right out. Simple as that. Very little effort. Next up, you're going to take your knife and go in between the wishbone. Wishbone runs right on top of your breast here. So you want to make sure you don't hit that, and then give it a slice right down the way. And that gives you your 2 breast halves. And that should leave us with an 8-piece chicken.
So Patrick, when I was a kid growing up, I worked at KFC and we had this 9-piece cut of chicken that I saw all the time. And everybody remembers the 9-piece cut because he had that nice big full breast at the end. Can you cut one of those for us?
Absolutely. A lot of the chain restaurants and fast food markets, they would do that to try to get a lot more out of the chickens. So 9-piece, you're going to get 1 extra piece of the breast. That's the only trick. A lot of it's similar, but I'll show you guys and run you through it right now.
But the kids, they always love that one big breast. Let's do it.
Okay, so here's where the tricky part is. Let's take this, just like we did. You're gonna split that little incision there to get the breastbone, like we did with the 8-piece cut. pop that guy out. That's real simple. And that will leave us with the breast with no breastbone. Trim off any excess fat or anything. Then we're going to turn it back on its rib cage there. And we're going to do a little bit different cut here. So I just happen to have a larger knife because we do have access to them here at the butcher shop. And I'd say about a third of the way up is where you're going to make your incision. You're going to slice it against the actual rib bone and then give it a nice pop through the bone. And that's the only difference from the 8 and 9 piece. And there's your extra piece of breastbone there, breast meat. You should have a little teeny bit of bone to it. And then we split these nice guys in half, flip them back over, in between your wishbone, right in half. And that's your 9-piece cut, ladies and gentlemen.
So there you got it. We got an 8-piece cut. We got a 9-piece cut up here at Jimm Meats and Produce in Fullerton, California. Patrick, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Anytime, Jim. You bet.
Next up on Barbecue and Chicken 101, we're going to go out to the park. We're going to cook these babies up. Let's go!